Good afternoon, Muskegon. You know what time it is. It's May 6, 2022, 59 degrees outside, and it's your show for news and information and more. It's Torn Into with your host, Gregory T. Roberts. Good afternoon, people. Melvin Burns, pastor, is off. So have a great time, brother. Listen, it's Mother's Day weekend, and I just want to say to everyone out there, those mothers out there, and your grandmas, and we appreciate you. If you didn't hear it from nobody else, you heard it from me. We appreciate you, and for the other people out there that you might be having strained relationships with your parents, let me tell you, fix it now because when they pass away, they don't get their flowers, and Mother Lorraine, and Grandma Boo, I will see you soon. Today's show is a very special show, and I need you guys to hear this show. I need you to, matter of fact, share this show. Take a second, share the show. The next thing, get a pen and some paper because you're gonna learn something today. You're gonna learn today. Um, the guy that we have on today, I've talked to a little bit before the show, and you know, you ever meet somebody and you connect right away, um, and it just happened. This guy's a great guy. Our guest today is the co-founder program that started in 1998, the Pinckney Foundation, the program director of Ace Kids Golf Program in Oakland, California. Now, I'm going to stop there because this man's story is incredible. As my boy Fred Hammond would say, put your hands together for our guest, Mr. Preston Pinkney. How you doing, sir?
I'm great, Greg. Thanks for having me on.
Well,
Appreciate the opportunity.
okay, man, you got me hyped now. You're shooting 14 out there in Oakland, but you have an incredible resume and bio, but what you're doing out there in Oakland, and you're making a difference. Why don't you tell our listeners and our watchers? Matter of fact, share this, and you can watch this on WVS 103.7 to B and M106 for if you have any questions. Tell people about a little bit about yourself.
All right. Thank you, guys. My name is Preston Pinkney. I'm the co-founder of the Pinckney Foundation, which was established in 2018 with my wife, Giovanni, beautiful woman. And we specialize in teaching at-risk youth life skills through the game of golf, financial literacy. We got studio recording programs called the Rap Program with Bay Area rap producer K. Lou. And we also have some great junior golf programs. I'm also the program director of the Ace Kids Golf Program in Oakland. And we have some really great partners. I've been part of that for over 2 decades, starting in 2000. Introduced over 8,000 youth to the world of golf. Helped a lot of kids go to college, helped get jobs, work with incarcerated youth, high school youth. We have Pee Wee programs starting as young as 5 years old. I'm also on the board of directors of the Northern California Golf Association. It's one of the largest golf associations in America. We have over 500 affiliate clubs, 206,000 members, and we're also the head of the Youth on Course program, which is a nationally recognized program as well. I'm also on a couple of other committees. I'm part of Oakland Rotary, and I'm part of Enterprise Institute, where we teach youth entrepreneurship skills. We have a camp, and we take them out for 3 days, get them away from the city and get them into nature environment and teach them entrepreneurship. Also, we have a HOPE program, Help Oakland Pupils Excel. And I have over 4 kids go through that program. They get a mentor from Oakland Rotary from the time they're in middle school. If they maintain a 2.5 GPA and stay out of trouble, they get a $10,000 scholarship. So we have a young man named Drayon Paul, who's about to graduate and get his scholarship. We're looking at his colleges right now. And the Pinckney Foundation, in addition, gave him a $500 scholarship to help them out as well. So that's one of the things we just did recently. What we have going on, we're about to take 5 youth to Washington, D.C. in June to compete in the inaugural Charlie Sifford Cup. And that's in partnership with Golf My Future, My Game. And they're going to be hosting us out there. This is the first ever Charlie Sifford Cup. We'll be competing with players alongside the First Tee. We'll also be visiting the African American History Museum, where Charlie Sifford's artifacts will be donated. So we're very excited about that opportunity as well. We just hosted a great fundraiser called Battle at the Hawk. And Battle at the Hawk was designed as our major fundraiser for the Pinckney Foundation, so we could expand our outreach and our services. And I'm very fortunate to have Shirley Nelson, the founder of Summit Bank, and also Kinder's Joe Raniero, the CEO, to be our title sponsors. That was a great event that we held in March. We have so many opportunities for youth now. From when I very first started back in 2000, my first introduction was from my mentor, Jeff Calloway, who was a client of mine coming to my recording studio. And he was the director of the Ace Kids golf program. And what he did was he saw that my mom told me I needed a job. Say, hey, this music stuff is not going to be it. You need to get a job. So he hired me on as a van driver. I had no golf experience. Didn't even care about golf. Wasn't tripping off golf. I thought it was just for old rich white people. You know, I had hoop dreams, and I thought I was going to be a major producer like Dr. Dre. And when I got involved with this program and started working with these youth and picking them up from these rec centers, I mean, we had a spot in Manzanita, you know, that's called the Murder Dubs. The center director at the time said the birds don't even come out. They don't even fly no more because there's so many bullets flying. And we taking these young kids up to the golf course and we suiting them up, giving them shirts and giving them confidence, showing them how to swing the golf club, teaching them life skills, how to navigate through some things. And it just went full circle from there. I saw that I was really making an impact with these kids, a positive impact. And I just really wanted to continue this mission. So eventually I just left music, and I've been doing this full time since 2006 when I took over the program.
That's, man, what you just said is a mouthful. I didn't want to stop you, but you're preaching good. We about to pass the plate. What you're doing is amazing. Now, we were talking about your background, how you started with the van, but before then, you didn't get your GED until when?
Oh yeah, I didn't get my high school diploma until 3 years after high school. As a matter of fact, 4 years. My little sister graduated before I did, just because I didn't see the value of it, and I didn't have the self-worth and the self-esteem to go further in my life. And I got with some really great gentlemen. They Don Jajaga, he was my mentor, called me back to school and got me enrolled in college. And then he hooked me up with Tim Cloud and then Wayne Organ. You know, these were guys at the time that really influenced me and encouraged me to do the right things. And I just been trying to giving back ever since then. You know, it's each one teach one type of philosophy. And I'm all about partnerships and unity, because it takes a village. It really takes a village. None of this works without having helping hands out there.
Right.
And just looking at just the growth of the program, you know, we've scaled from 110 kids a year from, what was that, from 2000 to, you know, at the height before COVID, we were up to 900 kids a year. And some of the things that we do is we take the kids on to field trips. We've been going down to the Pebble Beach AT&T Pro-Am down in Pebble Beach, you know, since 2000. And that's kind of really what threw it off, because when we went down 17-mile drive, first of all, it cost money just to go down that street. And when we were on that bus driving through the forest, it's called the Del Monte Forest, and there's all kind of big, gigantic mansions. I mean, all the houses is multi-million-dollar houses, and we're just looking through the trees and seeing these houses. And, you know, when you're a kid, you play, that's my car, but we were on the bus playing, that's my house. You know, that's how impactful it was for us to see something like that for the very first time in my life. I was, you know, 20-some years old. And just the simple fact that we went through there and you saw the ocean through the trees, and just when we got off the bus, you just heard this loud roar, and it just brought chills up my spine. And I was like, wow, this is how people are living. And that loud roar was Tiger Woods, like seeking his third birdie in a row or something. And it was just mayhem, because that's when Tiger was in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really kind of what sparked this whole program and getting things going. And so we're just taking it to another level. We have a lot of great partners now. We've over the years, we've been having a great partnership with the Olympic Club Foundation. They've been very supportive of us. I was actually a keynote speaker at one of the tournaments, I think back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And just recently, in partnership with the Olympic Club Foundation and Eat, Learn, Play, which is Steph Curry and Aisha Curry's foundation, they just gave us a very generous contribution of $250,000 so we can expand our golf programs and outreach to over 10,000 youth in these upcoming years. And we got some really great other opportunities. We're getting a donation of 1,200 sets of clubs from Robert Baker. He's the founder of Logical Golf. His background, he's President Obama's coach. And he built the training facility for the PGA Tour down at the headquarters. So he's donating 1,200 sets of clubs. So we're about to get those out to the kids in the next few months. And also we got a golf simulator donated from the NCGA and Golf Zone. So we're looking for a space right now to put that up. And that's going to allow us to get even more kids introduced to the game. Even when it's raining outside, when it's dark outside, they'll still have a safe place to go, provide job opportunities, because they'll be able to run the shop and do other things within that. So it's just another scope of work. I've also was able to, over this time frame, reinvigorate girls golf on the high school level with the OAL about 14 years ago.
Nice.
In partnership with them, their program, the girls golf program for high school, was dead for over 10 years. And we were able to get funds and help with coaches. And actually, we were providing transportation and picking the kids up from the high school, bringing them to the course, giving them practice, taking them to the matches. And fortunately, now at this time, OAL has seen the value of it, and they're continuing on with that legacy. And they just had their championship out here yesterday or Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And we've helped so many kids go to college.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, we got kids in college all across the country. We identified at least 40 kids from the last 7 years that actually played high school golf. Janisa Salazar, she's one of my favorites. She started with me when she was 7 years old. She played varsity golf all 4 years at Skyline, was the captain for 2 years. She graduated and was a recipient of a very generous scholarship from Eat, Learn, Play. And she goes to Holy Names University out here, and she's on the golf team. And she's also one of our junior instructors. So kind of what I do with my format, when the kids come through our program and they reach high school age, I hire them on and they become junior instructors. So now they're giving back the same way that they got, introduced to the game initially. And now they're becoming role models and mentors for the children underneath them. So Janice is one of them. Adrian Davis, he started when he was 10. He just got accepted to Cal Berkeley. So he just started this semester. And fingers crossed, he'll be on the golf team next year. He's a really great golfer, great young man. I've actually taken him across country to participate on APGA Tour events. And with the APGA Tour, the Advocates PGA Tour, giving minorities the opportunity to compete professionally. And they're blowing up out the water right now. Cole and Mike Cooper and those guys, they're doing some wonderful, wonderful things. It's just so many things I could touch on and talk about. I don't even know how to put it in order.
Well, I want to talk. Start. How about we start about this? There's a word that you keep on mentioning: mentorship. How important is it for us to get involved and mentor someone that needs help or needs instruction?
It's very important. It's life-changing. Those opportunities are life-changing. When you're able to become a positive role model or positive image for a young person, it changes their perspective. It changes their It changes their ability to have self-confidence and really believe that they can achieve things in life, and just for me, having those mentors around, they were able to answer questions for things I couldn't figure out
Mm-hmm.
and bring out connections to people that could help me get to the next step. When you get stuck, you don't know where to go. That's what makes it hard on people, especially with the education piece, not having access to a tutor or not having access to the books or to the library or to the computers or, getting those extracurricular activities that gives you an advantage over others that don't have those opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Now, your program, over 8,000 plus kids, even
Yeah.
more that you guys have touched and impact, um, which is incredible. Um, but the one thing that impresses me is that you guys didn't wait for something to happen. You made something happen. You saw a need, um, to help kids, to introduce them into something, and you made it happen. And talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, with me, like I said, I was so encapsulated by the culture of golf and how it changed and impacted my life. I wanted to make sure that every kid that I came across had the same opportunity to get involved with the great game, the great sport. It teaches honesty, it teaches integrity, it teaches
Mm-hmm.
discipline, it teaches focus, it teaches you how to overcome obstacles. It teaches you a whole culture. Like when you're at the golf course, you don't throw trash on the ground. You pick it up and you put it in the garbage can.
Right.
If you see trash on the ground, you actually pick it up, put it in the garbage can. When people hit the balls on the green, you repair the divots so the next person playing behind you, they have a smooth green just like you had. So there's all
Mm-hmm.
these different cultures that are a derivative of what golf brings, and all of that transforms not only on the golf course but off the course as well, because it helps you in the classroom. It helps you
Right.
be responsible. It helps you be disciplined to finish your assignments. It helps you talk to the right people, because what I found out about the golf course is the people that can afford to play golf, there a lot of them are business owners, a lot of them are lawyers, a lot of them are hard workers in the community, police officers, fire personnel, and it's so many different people that you meet out here and you become part of a circle, part of a family, part of a community, and everybody wants to help. And so that's been like the secret to success, is being around individuals that want to help and see kids develop.
Mm. Now you talked about one aspect of golf, the etiquette, the golf etiquette, the honesty, the work problem solving. But you also talked about an important element of these kids taking these things that they learn on the golf course and using them in school.
Correct. So I remember we had a program with Castlemont High School many years ago, and then we had a young man, and he had a lack of confidence and really didn't believe in himself. And he had a tutor and was getting extra instruction from his teacher. And what I found out, over time of him being in the program, the only days he came to school was when he had golf class.
Mm,
And the reason why he did that is because he felt a connection with myself and my other coaches, and he felt confident. When he was around us, he really felt like he was somebody. And so he worked hard and he improved his grades. And we talked to him and said, "Hey, man, we're going through these things." We talked to the counselor, talked to his teacher, and then we all put our arms around him. And then he ended up, graduating high school and going to community college, and now he's working and has his own family.
hmm
Um, but it was because we wrapped around. Because if we didn't wrap our shoulders and our arms around him, he probably would have just dropped out of school.
mm,
Um, and so, it's bringing that support system, that village. I like to bring the village. Another example is working with Camp Sweeney. That's juvenile hall here in Oakland off of 150th Street. And we've had
Okay.
a program with them for over 10 years. And I remember I had this young man named Damo, and I'm on the driving range and I'm showing them how to shape shots, 5-yard draw, 5-yard fade, how to hit it straight, just call it out. And so, he started talking smack. Coach P, you doing all that on the driving range, but you can't do that on the golf course. I was like, okay, well, what's your bet, right? What you want to bet? He was like, okay, I'll tell you what. We go out and play golf. If I win, if I beat you, this is Damo. I want a cheeseburger with some bacon and fries and a drink and all that stuff. And I was like, cool. I said, but if I win, you're gonna give me 5 hours of community service, right? And so we went out on the golf course, and it wasn't no competition, man. I spanked him after 3 holes. He was like, "I quit. What you want me to do?" Right? But what this did is it allowed us to spend some time together. And so I had him come to the office and weed whack around and trim some trees for me, and really got to have conversations with him. So eventually, that actually turned into a job for him. I hired him on with the city, and he worked for me for I would say a year. And he was washing the van, and we were talking. He said, "Coach P, this is the best day of my life." I said, "Why you say that, Damo?" He said, "I've been drug-free, alcohol-free for over a year. I just graduated high school. I just got my driver's license. I did everything you told me." He said, "And I'm working at the golf course. And, you were the only one that believed in me, man. So I really appreciate it. And thank you so much." And, to this day, we're still in contact. He's working for FedEx, doing his thing, staying out of trouble. And this young man is a really bright kid. He was getting in trouble since he was in middle school. He was in the system this whole time. And now, he's a successful young man, doing his thing, taking care of his business. And all that happened just because he came to the golf course, learned a little bit about golf. But, we got to teach him some things, about being a man, what it's like to step up and do the right thing,
Right.
follow through, right?
Right.
That's what job training is all about, right? You got to be to work on time. You have to follow the protocols. You can't be drinking. You can't be smoking when you show up on duty. You can't do all those things. You got to be a man. And so that's one of the proud moments I have in my life as well, working with Damo.
You mentioned something earlier, that one of the things is that you guys don't sit back. You guys go get people.
Oh, we go get them, man. I remember we went to Eads. That's East Oakland Sports Center, and I showed up. I pulled up, and I'm talking to the counselor. I said, where our kids at? Because usually the kids are standing out front. She's like, "Oh, they don't want to. They don't want to come to golf. They just want to play basketball." So I said, "Well, where are they at?" They're in the gym. So I roll up in the gym, like, "Where my golfers at?" And they was like, "Man, we ain't messing with no golf. We ain't doing this. We ain't doing that." I said, "Well, there's a lot of opportunities, but I tell you what, uh, Michael Jordan plays golf." I started naming the basketball players. They was like, "Nah, we ain't still doing it." I said, "All right, I'll tell you what, who's your best player? I'll play you 1-on-1 and to 5. If I win, y'all go play golf. If I lose, I'll never talk to y'all again." So young man came up to me, he said, "All right, I'll play you." And he's probably like 13, 14. And he was pretty tall, 6'2". And so we had a nice little match. And to make a long story short, I ended up winning. And then I told him to get up in the van. And I ran a program with him for 8 weeks until basketball season started. About, I would say, a year later, we was doing our summer hiring. And this young man is even taller now. And he says, "Coach P, you remember me?" He's got this deep voice. I said, "Well, where I know you from?" He said, "Remember you beat me in basketball and made me play golf?" He said, "I remember everything you taught me about, staying out of trouble, keeping up with my schoolwork, working hard in the gym so I could play hoop." He said, "I just want to let you know I got accepted to college.
Nice.
And I just did everything you said. All my friends, they didn't listen to you. They in trouble now. They locked up, but I listened to you." And I just talked to him recently. He got his master's degree. He's a director of a program. He's under 30 years old. He's raising his daughter. He's doing all these great things. And that was just from him having the opportunity to learn the game of golf and get this wisdom and this knowledge and get them arms wrapped around him.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Instead of waiting for something to happen, making something happen. And it, too many times we sit back and we want things to happen for our kids, and we're waiting for somebody else to do it. But we have that opportunity to do it. How talk a little bit about that.
It's just, my whole, passion is for the youth. Like I say, I was a troubled youth coming up. I remember I was 14 years old, and all my years we went to the park for the summertime. It was a rec staff there with a ball, some games. They had some type of structured activity, and then just one day out of nowhere, there was nobody at the park. There was no opportunities, and so me and my friends, instead of playing basketball and baseball and kickball, we went to the streets. We started hanging out on the streets, and that became our outlet because we didn't have those opportunities anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to deter our youth because they're starting younger and younger. We see how it is at the schools with the violence and the drug epidemic. And so I'm trying to get them as young as I can to deter them from the get go, so they don't even have to deal with that type of mess and deal with those consequences. Because all that stuff comes with consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about loss of life, you talking about jail time.
Come on
You
now.
know, you talking about broken homes, broken families, children growing up without two parents in the household. It's just so much negativity that comes out of that, and that's why I got out of the music because I couldn't continue to promote that negativity to our communities. Everything that I'm about is positive, so I can't be mixing songs when talking about F this, be that. I do
Right.
this and I do that. I'm not with that. Anything that I'm with is for positivity, for the betterment of our community.
Now, some of those areas that you talked about going to is like you said, helicopters wouldn't fly over because of
Oh, the
bullets
birds.
flying.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
birds don't fly no more because of the bullets.
Wow.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's just real. I mean, that's where our kids are at. So we have to go get them. There's like the golf course I'm at, Lake Chabot Golf Course, is all the way at the top of 98th golf links. The nearest bus stops like a mile away, and then from there it's another mile once you get into the gate to get to the clubhouse. So
Mm-hmm.
these are opportunities that our kids don't have access to. They don't have the transportation to get up to the hill and get these opportunities. So that's why we go to them and bring it to them. And
Mm-hmm.
especially when right now we're about to go into the schools and the rec centers, and we're going to have equipment, and we're going to be taking it to the park. I also work with another company called the Drive Box, and he has mobile golf simulators, and so he works with me monthly, and we're able to go out into the community and let the kids get a club in their hand and touch a golf club in the mobile drive box.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so our whole thing is to introduce them, and then those that want to take it to another level. Now we have programs provided for them, and I also started a tournament series, the Ace Kids Golf Junior Championship, presented by 2K Foundations, and this was an opportunity for our kids that never played tournaments before to kind of get introduced to tournaments and
Mm-hmm.
playing and learning the rules, and feel confident about themselves, because there's a lot of great junior golfers that have been playing, since they were knee high. And for a lot of these kids, this is their first inclination to golf or to tournament play. So that's been pretty successful. We had over 100 participants last year, and
Man.
we also work with the PGA Junior League for that too. So we run a 6-week tournament series with them as well, which includes golf instruction. And almost all of those kids that are their scholarship through the Eat Learn Play Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been a great program for our kids as well.
How big was it? Now you're talking about Steph Curry, like NBA star Steph Curry, who loves to play golf, and his wife. How big was it for them to give you that scholarship and believe in your program?
Man, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. It's I mean, I don't even know how to respond. Like it's I speechless. I pinch myself at times, just that they value what we're doing with the youth in that capacity, that they want to get behind us and support us. It's just a great feeling, and we're not gonna let them down. We gonna keep the momentum going and keep making it bigger and bigger and
Mm-hmm.
support more kids.
Mm-hmm. Now, you somebody sat up there and came up with a dream, said, look, we want to get clubs in hand, but teach golf and everything around it to kids. And we're not going to come up with excuses. I want you to talk to those people out there that may have dreams of starting programs, but maybe they're shy or they don't think they'll get the funding, but they can make an impact if they'll just step out in faith.
That's right. All you have to do is just do it. Whatever impact, it just starts with one child. You don't have to go out and serve 1,000 kids. It just one child makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Even with our program, we don't save them all, but the ones that we do, are the stories that we tell and are the reasons why we keep doing this. So just start with one. That's all you have to do. Just take that first step. And it might be a little intimidating. It might be a little scary at first, but just like anything else, as long as you keep doing it, eventually it becomes second nature.
Mm-hmm. Now, we know that golf, Tiger Woods changed the game.
Definitely.
How important is it for people to see us on the golf course
Oh,
conducted themselves in the correct way?
it's very, very important. I mean, I'm so excited about golf. This is the most excited I've been about golf since I've been involved with it. You have the emergence of Tiger Woods, but now you got Harold Varner III, who's a top tier player out there. You got Joseph Bramlett out there. You have Cam Champ and his foundation, and they're doing a lot of good getting kids involved with the game. Like I said, the APGA Tour, you had the PGA Works. They have the grassroots grants opportunities for people that have programs to continue doing their good work. So there's so many opportunities. We have a network system now where we have kids that have opportunities to go to HBCUs and play golf. Steph Curry is a big sponsor of the Howard team, and then so it's just been a wonderful, wonderful growth the last couple of years, and there's so many opportunities for our kids. Even the PGA said they're doing $100 million for the next 10 years to support HBCU golf. So there's great initiatives around. One of my good friends, Kendall Murphy, he's the director of inclusion and diversity and equity for Troon Golf, which is a major golf operation company, they golf management company. So there's a lot of opportunities now for our kids that we didn't have even 3 or 4 years ago. So it's very exciting right now.
What terminology do you tell your kids when it comes down to representing us when we're out on that golf course?
Well, the main thing is, is honesty, integrity, respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to respect yourself. You got to respect this great golf courses, and you got to respect others around you. That's first thing and foremost when the kids come up here. One of the lessons I do as well is I have them sit down, close their eyes, and listen for about 30 seconds. And then they open their eyes, and then I ask them, "What did you hear?" Somebody says, "I hear the wind blowing. I hear the birds chirping. I heard a car drive by." Whatever their assessment was. But then I asked them, I said, "Do you hear a bunch of kids running around making loud noises?" And they said, "No, we didn't hear that." I said, "We don't do that up here. We got to use our indoor voices. When somebody's on the tee box, they're about to hit, you need to be quiet and wait their turn. Don't move. Don't jiggle your change. Be very respectful of the person that you're with. Even though you're playing against them, you're still rooting for them. This is a gentleman's game. We all want to succeed. We all want to do well."
I want to stop you right there because a lot of people don't understand that very fact. In my years of coaching, I told the kids, look, although we're competing against them, we don't want them to have a bad game. We want to be at our best.
Correct.
So I want you to repeat that so people hear that.
Yeah, definitely. So when we're out there, we want to root everybody on. We want everybody to be successful. We want everybody to do good. Just like you said, Coach, we want to play our best, and we want them to play our best and let the best man win.
Mm-hmm. Wow, wow. So you got all these stories of, and like I said, over 8,000 plus kids in the Oakland area,
Correct.
um, changing lives, th- change, training them and using transferable skills to take those skills that they learn on the golf course to use them in school, to use them in life. Um, I mean, I'm beaming with pride. You got to be extremely proud of what you guys do. Like you said, you can't save them all, but at least you're going after
Yeah, that's right. And it like I said, it takes a village. It really does. I have a great teams, great supporting staff, great partners out there, and it's all of us helping to make this happen. I just like I said, I know these kids, if given the right opportunity in the right situation, they'll be successful. And it's all about breaking those barriers. I mean, just golf itself, I think they had a white only clause until 1961,
them.
right? So that right there has been discriminatory for, I don't know how many years, hundreds of years before that. Not even allowing, black people to play on the golf courses. You could caddy
You
there
could
and
caddy,
work the grounds, but you can't play on the golf course, and you can't go inside and eat in a restaurant.
right?
And they're trying to change things a little bit now. And we're not 100% there, but at least we're going in the right direction. And we just want to get our kids engaged in these opportunities. Like they just had a closing for Lee Elder, a Lee Elder internship. For those that don't know, Lee Elder was the first African American to play in the Masters in
There you
1970.
go. Mm-hmm.
And so they made an internship program for him, so the kids to work at the U.S. Open. 25 college kids, preferably minorities, get an opportunity to spend a week and learn how to run the Open with a mentor. They get paid a $1,500 stipend, all expenses included, and they
Nice.
get this wonderful opportunity. So those applications just passed, and they just made an announcement of 25 kids. And then now you got the African American Golf Expo led by Jim Beatty from the African American Golfers Digest. I participated in that with my team last year. It was a great event. They have another one coming up later this year. So it's a lot more opportunities than were before, and it's just exciting, man. It's the level of competition, the level of quality, the level of education for all our youth, and these opportunities are just outstanding right now.
It's 2:40. I mean, time is flying here, but we got a lot more to talk about. How important was Lee Elder and his story, playing first African American playing the Masters?
Oh man, Lee's story is incredible. I met his friend and his old business manager, Arthur Johnson, and we sat down for 3 hours at the PGA show. We were kind of walking out. I mean, the show was closing down. Like I'm talking about, they dropping signs from the floor, rolling up the carpet. And I just want to do a quick little 5-minute interview so he could tell me some stories about Lee Elder. And we ended up talking for 3 hours. And he used to talk about how him, Lee Elder, Charlie Sifford used to go play these golf courses, practice together. He said him and Lee Elder were the first two to actually sit down and eat lunch at the Masters indoors before there was no blacks allowed to eat in
No,
the
no, not in the restaurants. Like you say, you could be on the course as a caddy and mowing grass, but the Masters was a trip.
Oh man, and they just let ladies participate. A few years ago. That was even they was excluding ladies as well, women as well. But yeah, Lee Elder's significance and him being at the Masters, it just was a game changer. And fortunately, I was able to meet him one time via Zoom, and Eat Learn Play made a scholarship for $20,000 in his honor, and we were able to get 75 kids in our program last year through their contribution. But yeah, so he used to tell me stories of him going out around on the golf courses, how people used to treat him.
I
You
can
heard the
only
stories.
imagine.
You heard the stories about Charlie Sifford, them putting boo boo in the cup, and just mean, nasty things. And that's why I'm glad these guys are still around to see how things are changing in a positive direction. And there's still a lot more work that needs to happen, but at least we're trending the right way.
The PGA announced a couple years ago that they wanted to make a transition to really change a lot of the things, some of those things that were happening at golf courses and with some of their fans and all that kind of stuff. How are they doing?
Like I say, they have a lot of programs. They got the grassroots grants, to host junior golf. I think the first initial grant was 150,000, the total pot. This last one that just closed was over 750,000. And so within a year, it went from 150,000 to 750,000. So that's trending in the right direction. So we can
Mm-hmm.
introduce kids to this wonderful game.
Mm-hmm.
They made the announcement of $100 million for HBCUs in the next 10 years. They have the PGA works going on. They have a lot of internships opportunities that they're making specifically for minorities. There's a lot of effort going on, and they seem very sincere with their efforts.
You we talk golf. We got to talk about Tiger because the man changed. The man just changed the game, and I'm still hoping he's still got one in him and get that championship in him. How important was Tiger to the game and to the game? And I mean everything that he did, the way that he worked out, the way that he practiced. After he would get done with a match, he's at nighttime still hitting balls. That total etiquette that he had. How important was he, and still how important is he to golf?
So if it wasn't for Tiger Woods, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Mm,
I wouldn't be involved. He's what led me into golf, and I know there's several hundreds of thousands, a million other people that wouldn't be engaged. When Tiger's playing, the ratings go up. When Tiger was out of golf for those years, when he was dealing with his personal issues, the ratings in golf was down. The whole industry was going down,
down.
down. And then when he came back and he did that awesome return. He won the Masters and won like maybe 3 or 4 other tournaments in that year. I mean, it's people that have played 20 years and they've never won a tournament. And this guy was so incredible. He was winning 3, 4, 5 tournaments a year, always a major. He was number one for over 11 years in a row. Since he hasn't been number one, there's been a number one golfer like every 6 months. They've been wanting Phil Mickelson to take over, and then Dustin Johnson, and it's just slowly nobody stepped up to that type of caliber. But when you look at today's players, they came up off of Tiger's regimen, so
Right.
the talent level is much higher because they follow with golf. They follow Tiger Woods' regimen. Tiger Woods, he would go out with the Navy SEALs and work out with the Navy SEALs. That's how disciplined and focused he was, and his intention on getting the strength and being the best athlete out there, not just the best golfer, but the best athlete in the world.
Mm-hmm. 2:45, 15 minutes to go. I'm enjoying this conversation. I've told Preston that he can come back anytime to talk about anything because I'm enjoying this. Oakland, I mean, and you're taking these kids all over the country, and I think you mentioned a program that you're taking even kids out of the country.
No, we're not there yet.
Not there
Right
yet,
now, yeah, not there yet. Right now, we're focused on
but you're
you know,
taking them around the country though.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So, young man, his name is Adrian Davis. I spoke about him earlier. He had the opportunity to play in a couple of the APGA tour events with some of the best black pro golfers as an amateur. So we taking him down to Los Angeles. We've taken him all the way to Florida. Um, We was working with another gentleman who was a pro, Trey Craig. We sponsored tournaments in Las Vegas, Arizona, in Carolina. And then we have another young person that we're working with as well too. And this is my AATQ program, the African American Tour Quest and the All American Tour Quest. Marlon Jones, who just turned 17, and he's played in the Camp Champ Championship and an APG event down here in San Francisco at Hardin Park.
Mm-hmm.
And we're grooming him up to play a lot of tournament golf this summer. So I work with introductory piece, mentorship piece, and then the advanced piece as well. So I incorporate sports psychology, fitness nutrition training. Actually, we won an award for our program in 2019, the High Impact Award from Algorithm, because we also do surveys with our kids to see what we're doing as well for social emotional learning impacts. We do pre and post surveys, and we made the top 4% in the country with what we're doing with our coaching and our mentoring. And we were able to team up for a week, 20 youth with a sports psychologist master student. And they work one-on-one with them 4 hours a day to learn about, mental fortitude, learn about confidence and gaining confidence, self-discipline. And these kids not only went on to do great in our program, but they also did very well in school the following year. So that was another thing that we do. So my partnership with JFK extended over, and that's where we have our upper level golfers go through that. And then we also work with Angel Cabrera, and he's a fitness nutrition trainer with the Stanford men's team, and he has a couple pros on tour. So he works with our youth as well and our pros to get them the proper nutrition and fitness so they could be ready to play at any time at the highest level.
So, Preston, look, you're telling me you're taking kids, some kids out of some rough areas.
Correct.
And you are explaining and taking them through basically life, eating, nutrition, education, psychology. You're taking them through all that, and then how do they respond to that, and then go back to the neighborhood that they live?
Well, each individual is different, but for the most part, they learn from it. They learn from that experience. They take it to heart, and they want to go to the next level because they start believing in themselves. They believe they could get to that next step. And that's what it is just believing in yourself. And that's all we want to do is teach them to believe in yourself. And if you need any help with anything, we're right here to support you.
The PGA also announced that they were willing to give grants of people that were willing to start programs as well. I believe so.
Correct. And that's the grassroots grant.
Okay.
That I discussed. Yes.
So somebody could be in Michigan and maybe start a program.
Correct. And if you need any help, I'll be happy to assist with that. I've been doing this, my whole career, and a lot of these things that could be tedious to some, I can help get through those obstacles.
Okay, let's go through some of the. I know it was 2:15. We got 9 minutes here. Let's talk about some of your favorite stories, and let's go through some of the hardship stories that you have to deal with.
Hardships. I mean, in the past, it's always been, having access to funding, getting access to golf courses. Fortunately, over the years, I've overcome those. I put a lot of time and work. I mean, there was a time in there when I knocked on people's doors and nobody would support me, give me anything, And so I just said, you know what, whether you help me or not, I'm gonna make this happen.
Okay.
And so I just kept grinding because the way that we came up, like, no, it's not an option.
Say it.
No, it's not an option. And fortunately for me, I had great partnerships with golf courses, golf management companies, with some country clubs, I'm on a position on the board of directors with the Northern California Golf Association, which opens up so many doors that I wouldn't even knew who these people were, and now they're friends of mine. So the hardships for me are I'm kind of past those. It's about scalability at this point. So we're looking to scale and get into other areas, other states, to do our program, run our model.
But with those hardships, the thing is that you didn't take no for an answer, and you didn't let that discourage you.
No, never that. I mean, every day is a constant battle, between good and evil, and we're just trying to stay on that good side and outshine the evil piece. And so therefore, I can't let my students down. I can't let my kids down. I can't let their parents down.
That's what I'm talking about.
We
Say
have to be
that.
there for 'em.
That's what I'm talking about. Say that again. Say it loud and say it proud.
We can't let our kids down. We can't let our families down. We can't let our communities down. We got to be here for them.
So we're sitting up here in this little town with the radius that we have, and we're sitting up here waiting for activities to happen, and you can be the answer by stepping up, right, Preston?
Not a problem. I mean, just tell me where to go, and then we'll make it happen. We just walk the walk. I don't even like talking about it. I just like to show people what I do.
That's again, that's what I'm talking about, because a lot of times we have so many people just complaining. And the thing is that instead of complaining, we can be an answer to the problem if we would just go out there and do something. Our kids need something to do. They need training. They need to be experience other things, and we are the answer. But if we don't do something, like you said, it takes a village. But if the village lets them down, then we're letting people down.
Yeah, I mean, all we got to do is just step up. One person has to step up. Each one teach one. Wrap your arms around one, and then wrap your arms around another one, and eventually it's gonna go from 1 to 2 to 10, and before you know it, it's gonna be the whole village.
I like that. Let's hit on that a little bit. Grab one.
That's it, just one.
It's just if there's that kid, just grab that one kid and do something, and then spread it on.
Yeah, like I said, I was the example when Daydon called me. I'm sitting at the house smoking weed with my partners, and he said, "Hey man, I seen you was on the list. You have been to school before. We got a program for young brothers like yourself to get back on the right track. I'm hosting this meeting. Come on through to the school at this day and this time." And me and my friend went. And we sat down in the room. It was a big amphitheater, and we were the only two there. He said, "I'm gonna give about 10 more minutes for everybody to show up." I said, "Well, how many people were invited?" He said, "Well, I invited over 100 people." He said, "Well, time is up. It looks like it's just the two of y'all. So I'm about to start my program." And even my partner got up and said, "Nah, man, I don't want to do this. I'm gone." So it just ended up being me by myself. He reached out to 100 people, two showed up, and only one stayed. And here we are over 20 years later, telling the story of what happened over 20 years ago.
Wow. Okay, I want you to talk to those kids, because there's a lot of kids that might be afraid of golf, or because we go out for basketball and football and those sports, but there are actually a lot of other areas that we can head in. Talk to those kids about getting involved in different activities.
Yeah, so it just doesn't have to be golf. It just ended up being my route. But music is a great tool. All different type of sports. You got basketball, football, lacrosse, swimming, track and field. There's so many opportunities, but try them all. Just give them all a chance and see what you like, because you never know. You can't knock it till you try it. And because you look at the Olympic athletes that's out there, the best in the world doing what they're doing. They did that because they love it. They love that they're doing it. All the athletes you see, they love doing it. They love the process. They love putting in the work. They love the training. They just don't show up to the game and just start shooting buckets. They
Mhm.
practice for 6-7 hours a day for the whole week to get prepared for that game.
Right.
So it's all about preparation for yourself in whatever it is you're going to do, whether it's high school, whether it's college, whether it's a career that you want to go into. It's all about preparation. You know, everybody talks about they want to get a car and get big rims on it. Well, think about your brain and yourself, about upgrading yourself, right? You
Ghetto
know,
fabulous.
you got to upgrade yourself with knowledge. Knowledge is the power. Knowledge is the key. You
Hmm.
know, and not only with that, you got to be able to network, because it's not always what you know, but it's who you know that gets you in the door.
There
But
you go.
but if they get you in the door, you got to be prepared, and you have to shine like a star, because just as fast as you walk in the front door, you can walk yourself right out the back door.
Come on, come on, Mr. Pinckney. Say that. Please explain what you just said again about getting out there and getting those friendships and knowing people, because a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, friendships and relationships is the key to life. Without those relationships, you're missing out on opportunities. Don't be scared to talk to people. You know, don't be shy. Engage in conversations. Engage with different people. You know, don't always engage with people that look like you, dress like you, and talk like you. You get a different perspective in life. When you're young, go to these programs. You know, go to the Rotaries and the Rotaract clubs and the Lions clubs, and go to church and participate in the choir. Participate in group activities. You know, that's what's great about sports is you with a group, and you're able to expand your horizons. You know, you might even get a family to adopt you, and now you're friends with another culture. So now you're eating different foods. You're
Mhm.
dealing with different conversations, and you're just getting the whole world experience. Don't limit yourself to where you at right now. Open your mind as wide as you can and experience everything, so you can make a great decision for your future.
Love it. Preston, 2 minutes here. Tell people how to get in touch with your organization if they would like to see more, donate. Um, Maybe they would like to start a program. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can check out our website at www.thepinkney, Pinkney foundation.org. That's www.thepinkneyfoundation.org. They can email me at info@thepinkneyfoundation.org. And I'll be happy to talk with anybody, meet with anybody, and do what I can. You know, it's all about helping our youth and making the world a better place.
Any shots out Mother's Day?
Yes,
Why?
I want to shout out Happy Mother's Day to my mom Alexis, to my sister Christina, and also my very loving wife Giovanni Pinckney. You know, who's a great mother of our daughter Nia, who's on the honor roll. Thanks to Miss Rosa Higgs. Happy Mother's Day, Rosa. Rosa is my daughter's tutor. She went from being a C average student to an honor roll student. So very excited about that. Thanks, Rosa.
Yeah, we
And
love Rosa.
yeah, and happy Mother's Day too to Mrs. Teresa Morgan, Joe Morgan's widow. She's been a great supporter of us. She actually donated all of Joe Morgan's golf clubs to our program.
Wow, wow.
Um, and Miss Shirley Nelson at Summit Bank. Happy Mother's Day to all you guys, and Miss Pee Wee and Carolyn. And I got so many mothers, my sister Christina, Ashley, everybody.
Right.
And to all the mothers out there that are taking care of their kids and grandmas and everybody, happy Mother's Day to everybody.
All right. To my wife, Emily, I love you dearly. Happy Mother's Day to my girls that are mothers. Happy Mother's Day. Preston Pinkney, you're welcome to come back on this show anytime. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it, Greg, and we'll be in contact.
Okay, that's turning two for Mother's Day weekend. Take care. Go sow a seed in somebody's life. Take care and God bless. Mr. Pinkney, you are awesome, sir.